The cancel culture, the drive to stop views considered politically incorrect, is spreading in the United States, and it's affecting the American Jewish world. I talked with Morton Klein, the president of the Zionist Organization of America, about the backlash he's getting for his public statements. Morton Klein from the Zionist Organization of America, thanks for joining us. First of all, how would you explain, how has cancel culture come to the American Jewish world?
First of all, I would call it the destruction culture. It is much worse than cancel culture, where people who disagree with you want to destroy you, end your jobs, end your credibility. I simply saw that the group, Black Lives Matter, were gaining visibility, credibility, and legitimacy. And when I checked their platform said that Israel is committing genocide against the Arabs, which is amazing because there were 200,000 Arabs in Israel in 1948. Today, there are 2 million Arabs. This is, of course, reverse genocide. It's a ridiculous statement to make. They call Israel an apartheid state, even though 15% of the parliament in Israel are Arabs. They support boycotting Israel. They say Israel stole the land. They say Zionism is white supremacy. They want all aid cut to Israel. By the way, they don't condemn any country in the world, only Israel. And in terms of America, they want the U.S. military ended to end capitalism. They want reparations to Libya and Iraq, two terrorist regimes. And they want to end the nuclear family. And they want children to be allowed to choose their gender. And in rallies, I wrote, in the last 2 weeks, they're screaming death to America, death to Israel. This is not Iran. This is America. You're seeing this. And they're saying that Israelis kill Arab children. So when I wrote all this, 16 of the top Jewish leaders in America, including the Reform Jewish movement, the Conservative Jewish movement, Rick Jacobs, Rabbi Blumenthal, the Jewish women's groups, J Street, New Israel Fund, condemned me and called me a racist. I'm called a racist because I expose the racist platform of Black Lives Matter. What does that have to do with me being a racist? Of course I'm not a racist. and a number of them demanded that the ZOA, the Zionist Organization of America, be thrown out of the umbrella group of the 51 major Jewish organizations. Of course, it's not going to happen, but they're really wanting to demean my message and harm my credibility. And the main reason they want to do this, there are two reasons. One, they hate the political stance the ZOA has taken against the Oslo agreements, against making concessions to the terrorist regime of the Palestinian Authority, against giving any aid to the Palestinians while they're paying Arabs to murder Jews. The Palestinian Authority pays Arabs to murder Jews. If they murder a Jew, they get a lifetime pension at 4 times the average salary of a Palestinian. And also they're afraid. They're afraid if we don't appease the blacks, they'll destroy synagogues, Jewish educational institutions. So it's really fear. So I filed a complaint within the conference demanding a public apology and sanctions against all of them. I didn't take this sitting down, and now they've become quiet in the last 2 weeks since I filed this. When I've talked to them and said, why aren't you condemning the organization Black Lives Matter as anti-Semitic and anti-white and anti-American? They say, this is not a time to be discussing anti-Semitism. This is a time to be discussing rights and equality for blacks. I said, that's fine, but that doesn't negate talking about a serious problem that this group has with hating Jews and hating the Jewish state and hating America.
Do you see an exponential rise in anti-Semitism in the last several months?
Painfully and tragically, yes. We see major entertainers condemning Jews, condemning Israel, athletes condemning it. And what we don't see politicians speaking out against it. We don't see Jewish leaders speaking out. We don't see journalists editorializing about this. And when it comes to Congress, you have open Jew haters and Israel haters and America haters. Congresswoman Ilhan Omar of Minnesota, Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib of Michigan, AOC from Queens. Not only have the Democrats not condemned them for their anti-Semitism, they have defended them. And where is the media? Where are the pastors and the Jewish leaders and the rabbis? They're nowhere. They're afraid to condemn these people. But only yesterday, I spoke to Ice Cube. Ice Cube is one of the major black rappers. I spoke to him for 2 hours. I asked him personally to condemn anti-Semitism and support those athletes who are condemning anti-Semitism. And he did. He tweeted out, I hate anti-Semitism. I support these black athletes who are condemning anti-Semitism. So that was a little start that a major rapper, Ice Cube, has made these statements publicly in a tweet.
Well, Morton Klein, president of the Zionist Organization of America, thanks so much for joining us right now on Jerusalem Dateline.